Welcome to my channel Living Linux. In this video I want to have a quick look at the open source game Pioneer, which is a space adventure game or space simulation game, and I think it's inspired by Elite 2. So here is the website, and you can download for Intel and AMD. But I'm testing it on my Radxa Dragon Q6A, which has a ARM Snapdragon chip. So I had to build it from source. So here is the GitHub page, and there are instructions to build it or compile it. So there are some dependencies that you can install. So the only thing that was giving me a little bit of an issue was this one, because I had to add a version number, and here of course you have to remove that part because that's not going to work with sudo apt install. And as I said, I had to add a version number. So if you do apt search and then for instance the first part, then it's easy to find other packages that start or have a part of that in the name. So I'll put this command in the description of the video in case you need it. So it's actually two changes. So add the version number here and just remove this part, and then you should be good to go. Once you've downloaded the source, then go into the directory, run the bootstrap, and then make c build, and then with -j you can specify how many CPU cores you want to use, and they say 4 is a good default. And then it should be possible to start the game. Now, yeah, I had to read a little bit of the manual to get into the game. And I think especially if you want to control your ship manually, then yeah, there are some things that you have to keep in mind. So here are the flight controls. I'm not really going into that because I'm not much of a gamer. So, and yeah, it's also possible to have a frame counter, and with CTRL I you can make that visible. So let's see. So I already built it, so let's start it. Yeah, I also tried it on a Rockchip RK3588, but I got an error message, probably something about OpenGL support, and also tried it with Zinc, but that didn't work either. Perhaps if I really start messing with faking the OpenGL support, that perhaps it is possible to start, but with the Snapdragon chip we have OpenGL 4.6 support, so that makes things a whole lot easier. So the models of the spaceships, they look quite nice. So let's start a game. And we'll just go with the default. So I think this is, let's just say, the view from the cockpit. So you can change the view with this icon. So I think this is the view from outside, and that you see the navigation lights, the red and the green from your ship. This is another view. And we're back in the cockpit. Now the icons on the left, they change with the context of the icons in the center. So for instance here with the comms, you don't see anything. Well, this is just your cargo at the moment. And there's nothing on the scanner. Now if we go here, then you can see that the icons on the left, that they change a little bit. And with this, show comms. So now it gets more interesting. So on the bulletin board, you can try to find a mission to make some money. So let's start with something simple. And also because we just started, so we don't have a good reputation. So we agree to this simple mission and we set the destination as a navigation target. So yeah, you might want to try to do some trading, although I saw a forum post that it hardly makes any money. But you might find something interesting to do some trade. And once you have made a lot of money, then you can also buy a new ship. Or try to upgrade your current ship. And yeah, if you're unlucky, then perhaps you have to repair it. And I hope you don't have to interact with the police, because usually that's just a nuisance. Now, we have a mission. We set the destination, so we can request the launch. So now we're taking off from the docking station, and if we right click, then we're gonna fly on the autopilot to Olympus Mons. So it's not necessary to manually navigate. The option is there, but yeah, I think only for hardcore people that is something that you want to do manually. So now let's accelerate the time. So perhaps a little bit more. So are we getting there? So let's see if we can already request docking clearance. Oh, we're still too far away for ID verification. So let's do CTRL I. And well, there's not that much visible, but oops. I think we're getting close now. So let's see if we can request permission. Well, let's remove CTRL I. Clearance granted. So we use the autopilot to dock. So let's show the frames per second again. So, mission accomplished. And yeah, I'm not really much of a gamer, so I think this is all that I'm going to show you for now with this game. But yeah, I think if you're interested in this kind of game, then you can have a lot of fun with this. And perhaps you want to try manual navigation, but that is yeah, probably a very steep learning curve for me, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, it's good to see that we can build it for ARM and that it also works. And even on, so let's just end this game. So even on a relatively simple Snapdragon single board computer, it's yeah, has a good frame rate. So I think I saw something like 40 to 60 frames per second, something like that. Perhaps if the scenery gets very complicated, that it will drop a bit more. And perhaps if you change the settings to a higher quality, that it will also drop a bit. So yeah, you can still play around with that. But yeah, it's good to see that it actually works on ARM. And unfortunately, I don't have a RISC-V single board computer with good OpenGL support. So yeah, that test will have to wait. So hopefully somewhere in the future I'll be able to test that. But at least for now, we know it does run on ARM. So as I said, I had some issues with OpenGL on the Rockchip RK3588, and that probably means that you will also have issues on a Raspberry Pi 5. But again, you can play it with a Snapdragon single board computer with OpenGL 4.6 support. This is all for now, and I hope to see you again in my next video.